they don't really need to get sex out of Stormy Daniels in her testimony. In fact, it's arguably immaterial whether this sex actually happened for the prosecution. Whether or not there was an actual encounter, the key is the transaction. But the prosecution loves this testimony because it is great for them. It's great for them to show Donald Trump in an exposed, kind of slimy way, and the way he sort of tries to, a married man goes about picking up adult film stars and brings them to his hotel room, and in a very clumsy way, it shows her the bathroom, and then when she comes out, he's in his boxer shorts. I mean, I promise you, there are members of the jury who are not concerned with the elements and what they have to prove on the verdict form right now. They're just thinking, yuck. Just same thing everyone here has said at least once on their own today. This testimony is yuck, and it works.
And that is criminal defense attorney Danny Cavalos talking about the testimony of Stormy Daniels. In the Trump hush money trial, Daniels described in detail how a meeting at Trump's hotel room quickly became a sexual encounter. The headlines are creepy. Stormy Daniels testifies that Trump said she reminded him of his daughter, smart, blonde, and beautiful. Their encounter in July 2006, 1 year after Trump married Melania Trump, followed their meeting at a charity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. "You remind me of my daughter," Mr. Trump told her in the hotel room, according to Miss Daniels. "Smart, blonde, and beautiful, and people underestimate her as well." Headline: Stormy Daniels spanked pajama-clad Donald Trump with Forbes magazine in secret hotel rendezvous. Daniels recounted for the court that after coming out in silk pajamas, Trump pulled out a Forbes magazine with himself on the cover. Daniels said that at that point she wanted to eat the dinner she was promised rather than sit in the hotel and listen to Donald. "Someone should spank you with that," Daniels remembered telling Trump about the magazine. Daniels narrated that Trump rolled up the magazine and gave me a look as kind of a dare, so I took it from him and I said, "Turn around." And I swatted him right on the butt, she testified, and he was much more polite. Headline: Told me he and Melania sleep in different rooms. Stormy says she was asking Donald Trump about Melania before they hooked up, and she claims he told her not to worry about it, allegedly following up by saying he and she didn't even sleep in the same bed. Not just that, but Stormy says Trump told her they actually have totally separate rooms.
Well, she does say that as she's thinking about her reaction to seeing Donald Trump there after she comes out of the bathroom, the room spun in slow motion. She also says that one thought she had was, great, I've put myself in this bad situation. She starts to describe what happens next. And actually, this is where the defense objects. And Mershon, the judge, sustains. Yeah. And our notes are, he's angry. He says, let's move on.
So the judge would not allow testimony on the graphic details of the sexual encounter. Still, legal experts say it wasn't necessary, and that the jury was groused out just the same. By all accounts, Donald Trump came across as boorish, sloppy, and full of himself. And those are the sort of attributes that can have a lasting impact on a jury that is supposed to try and fight for defendants' liberty. In this case, though, if the jury is disgusted by Donald Trump, it makes a conviction far easier. On top of Trump's legal peril, there is the private challenge for Trump in all of this, particularly with wife Melania. Stephanie Grisham, former White House press secretary to the First Lady, says the allegations in this case have always stung Donald Trump.
This is very personal to him. This is an embarrassment to him with his family, and more importantly with his wife Melania. And I spent a ton of time with her when the news was breaking about Stormy Daniels when we were in the White House, and then of course with Karen McDougal, who's the former Playboy playmate, when those came out that he allegedly had these affairs. And she didn't take it lightly at all. We went to the State of the Union separately. She refused to walk out to Marine One with him because she did not want to be like Hillary Clinton and standing by her man. She's a very independent and strong woman. And I might add, there have been articles just recently that she's his secret weapon for this upcoming campaign. And so I would imagine that she is pushing him to make this stop. I would imagine that she will push him to go on the stand and defend himself. Because this is very, very embarrassing for her. It's humiliating for her. And I can guarantee you that she's not happy right now and that he's quite worried about that.
Embarrassing, humiliating. Trump is quite worried about it all. And making matters worse for Donald Trump, his wife was not exactly thrilled to begin with over his efforts to return to the presidency. Melania Trump has reportedly told friends she does not want to live in the White House again and deal with the various responsibilities of being First Lady. A few years ago, she was famously recorded trashing the White House Christmas decoration duties.
Working like my ass off. I know. Christmas stuff that, who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
We know she's an extremely private person, and that being in the public eye wasn't necessarily something she wanted to do in the first place.
Or maybe she just didn't want to do it with him. On his very first day as president, there was the faded smile. On the first presidential trip to the Middle East with Melania there in white, take my hand. No, thank you. And how about the White House living quarters?
Trumps do not share a bedroom. The First Lady has her own suite of rooms on a separate floor.
That's right, Melania, as First Lady, wouldn't even stay on the same floor. And there it is again. Did Donald Trump seek out other affairs by telling women he and Melania didn't share living quarters? It's the kind of question a juror might think about after hearing the testimony from Stormy Daniels. And that lack of Trump character, that gross personal behavior, usually doesn't help a defendant in the eyes of the jury. And by most accounts, Stormy Daniels' depiction of Donald Trump as creepy, gross, and a cheater makes his defense more challenging. And never mind the legal ramifications, by all accounts, Donald Trump personally has been humiliated. By the way, a recent Donald Trump photo op at a fire station backfired when he delivered pizza that was old and cold. Not only is this a re-delivery, 25 minutes after the pizza was first brought into the firehouse, Donald Trump holds it like it's manna from heaven.
President Trump is now going to open up the pizza and perhaps pass out some slices.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Miss K, by the way, who wrote, "I care nothing about what Trump does except for the possibility of him ending up in jail." I hear ya. I look forward to reading your comments about Stormy Daniels' testimony describing Donald Trump as creepy and gross. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.